We have here, this is just a kind of a basic dental light that basically kind of hovers over every chair, and very important again to creating more high visibility. And the light is very, very bright, so when shined on the patient's mouth, it can illuminate it to a very great factor that we can see things that we wouldn't normally be able to see without. When I graduated dental school, I actually didn't really know where my career path led. I didn't know if I wanted to specialize. I didn't know if I wanted to work in a hospital. I didn't know if I wanted to be in private practice. So my first job was actually joining the military. One thing nice about the military was you didn't really have to make any sort of commitments to what you wanted to do in dentistry, and I knew that I did not know where I wanted to be. I didn't know where I wanted to live, and I certainly didn't know if I wanted to just practice general dentistry or specialize. So my career path basically took me in the military, where I could become a general dentist, do a little bit of traveling, and then certainly get a little bit of exposure to all the different facets of dentistry. Once I left the military, I decided that I wanted to go into private practice. I wanted to basically have my own business. I wanted to be able to get in a situation where I could set my own hours. I would determine my earning potential. I certainly wanted to be the one that dictates my vacations. And so what I did was, when I separated, I purchased an existing dental practice. And it's from there that I basically started to build a practice of my own, that I could kind of set all my priorities straight and kind of get the business to how I wanted it to run. I went and pursued the military because I didn't know exactly where I wanted to practice, and I didn't even know what I wanted to do in dentistry. My opportunity to practice in the military gave me exposure to a lot of different disciplines of dentistry, and also put me in scenarios that were much different than you'd see in a private practice outcome. So for me, it was just an issue of getting some more experience and exposure to kind of guide me into what kind of dentist that I wanted to be. In the military, certainly, we primarily deal with people that deploy and go to war. So certainly the treatment scenarios that we can present to them are much different than in private practice, because there's a lot more limitations. For example, someone who may need something really complicated that's cosmetic, they may not necessarily have time to get something like that because of their availability. Where in private practice, basically the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want to do, or whatever the patient wants to do. So in terms of flexibility, there's a lot less flexibility in the military as far as the treatment options you can present, and basically the access and availability to care. Certainly, where you practice is going to dictate, what kind of dentistry you can provide. So practicing in Nashville, Tennessee versus maybe doing dentistry in Iraq is going to be a lot different as far as the dentistry that you can do on a patient.
Traditionally, the church looks at business people as sinners in the marketplace, like tax collectors in Jesus' time. So they should be coming to church to support the business and the ministry. The role of business people is only financial support. I think it's not a right way of looking at business people. We need to empower business people as marketplace ministers. And once you do them, I believe in the biblical verse, whatever you do it all for the glory of the Lord. That includes even doing business. You do business for God's glory. And when you give them that due respect and the due release them for that calling, you are doing for God's glory. The business people are able to overcome that barrier that's blocking their mind, the spiritual barrier. They don't go to the world, Lord, I'm trying to make money as much as possible so that I can do something holy, spiritual somewhere else. No. When they come to business, Lord, thank you, Holy Spirit, that you brought me to this place. I'm here to minister to this land. You set them free. This guy is greatly equipped to come and conquer the place for Jesus.
Hey guys, it's Justin Conoco from theclosers.ca here with your monthly market update for April 2015. So there were 769 homes that sold last month. Now, if we were going to compare this March to last March, it wouldn't really be fair because the weather last year held on strong. I mean, we had winter till almost April or May. But if you look at the 5-year trend, year after year, on average, March would be at about 726 homes sold. So, 769 is well above that for real estate purposes, and indicates that the market is heating up. boots on the ground wise, we are seeing a lot more multiple offers. We're seeing properties that are priced right, selling really, really quickly. So again, a strong indicator that buyers are out there looking for properties and maybe missed out on some over the winter time and looking to really capture that right property over the springtime or summertime market. So if you're thinking of listing now, is definitely a good time to get serious. Another thing that we wanted to bring up, and we usually like to bring up at least one legal fact or something that's going to affect the real estate industry to give some value to the agents that are out there, and obviously the rest of our listeners that subscribe to our show, is as of July 1st, 2015, there is going to be a big change to dealing with phantom offers.